We'll bang the drum and hold the phone. The sun came out today. We're born again. There's new grass on the field. Well, hey, guess where I am? I'm center field. Yep. And I've got my Yankee cap on because, you know, the best center fielders of all time have all been Yankees. All right, maybe not all of them, but a whole bunch of them. Bobby Mercer, come on. All right, so welcome back. We're going to talk about just PETTLEP today in terms of imagery. You know, PETTLEP is one of the major types of ways of thinking about how to do imagery, visual imagery in sport. We'll talk also, you know, in a separate segment about why we would want to do imagery in terms of the four W's. But today we're just going to talk about PETTLEP. All right, so PETTLEP stands for the different things that you can do in terms of imagery. All right, so the first P stands for physical. So you can think about, you know, the physical action. So, for example, baseball. All right, so if you're going to hold the baseball, how do you feel, you know, visualize yourself feeling it? Okay, and again, we can talk about imagery in different senses as well, not just, you know, looking at the ball and imagine how it looks to you, but, you know, how it feels. Okay, so right now you could probably close your eyes, and for those who have any experience with baseball, you can get a sense of what the ball feels like. Okay, the other thing that you can do is, you know, how would it feel if you had your fingers across the string on the seams or across the seams? Okay, so you can think about the physical nature of what you're doing. Okay, so, you know, what's the physical part? Can you have an image, you know, again, in various sensory modalities, you know, the feel of it. Okay, if we can consider kinesthesiology, kinesthesics as another of the senses. You know, what does it feel like? How's the ball feel in your hand? How's the glove feel in your hand? How's the bat feel as you're holding the bat? Okay, so you imagine the physical aspects of the sport that you're dealing with. Okay, so that's the P in the PETTLEP. E stands for the environment. So what you're talking about here is the actual environment. So we've got, you know, the baseball fields here. You know, I'll walk over to the pitcher's mound. Okay, so again, you can imagine the environment in which you are going to be doing your particular task. If you're a pitcher, okay, you imagine yourself, you know, looking at the pitcher's mound. Okay, you can see the actual rubber. Okay, you can visualize home plate. Okay, as you're pitching, you can visualize the background. All right, so you're actually seeing yourself in the actual environment. Okay, picturing it, feeling it. Okay, what the environment is. You know, feel, you know, what the grass would feel like underneath your feet. Okay, so you visualize, and again, through the different modalities, think about the environment in which you would be doing your task. Okay, so we got the P, we got the E. We got two T's coming up: timing and task. Okay, so in terms of timing, you want to visualize yourself doing the actual task in real time. So you don't think about, you know, throwing the pitch in slow motion. You think about, again, you know, you think about in real time how you would throw the pitch. Okay, so you know how you would swing a bat in that particular, you know, timing. So you work on your timing. Okay, you know, think of it in terms of, again, visualizing how long it would actually take you to do that particular thing. All right, the other T is for the task. If you're trying to figure out, you know, how to, you know, practice that task. Okay, so again, if we, you know, take a example of the baseball. Okay, you know, how would you hold the particular how would you hold the ball for the particular pitch? Do you hold it with the seams? Do you hold it against the seams? You know, how about your arm pitch? Are you going to be, you know, having your, you know, elbow bent? Okay, or are you going to be going straight overhand? You're going to be going sidearm. Okay, so you think about how you would actually do the task itself, whether it's pitching, batting, in other sports. You know, how you would, you know, do a three-throw, or, you know, how you would dribble. Okay, so you practice the task itself. All right, so timing, task, you know, basically go pretty much in hand in hand. You're doing the task in real time. Okay, in terms of the visualization of the imagery of it. Okay, so we've got P, E, T, T. We've got L, learning. So, you know, you can use this to learn the task. Okay, so you can visualize yourself doing a task that's novel to you. Okay, one of the the piece of research that speaks to this actually comes not from sports, but from music. Research has shown that if you visualize yourself playing the piano, it actually can be almost as good as actually practicing on the piano itself. Okay, so same thing here. You actually try to learn a particular task. How do you hold your bat? How do you throw the pitch? Okay, how do you anticipate, catching a fly ball? Okay, you learn the different aspects of it. So it is like the task, but you're learning how to do it rather than doing a task that you already know how to do. Okay, so that's the L in terms of learning. Okay, the E is emotion. Okay, so you want to practice different ways of getting your emotional aspect. So whether it's a matter of increasing your arousal level, or practicing to see if there was essentially a bad call. Maybe there was a bad call, and you got called out, or you were a defensive player and if the call went your wrong way. Okay, so you want to imagine yourself in that situation and how you would actually respond to that in terms of the particular emotion. Again, emotional control, arousal control, really, really important in sports, right? Again, Yorksey Dotson, one more time. You want to have the peak arousal level right. Okay, so again, you don't want to be too aroused. You don't want to not be aroused enough. So you can use visualization to actually help you get that peak level of arousal. Okay, so that's the emotional part. Practice different scenarios. Make sure you know how you would react emotionally in those different situations. All right, so we have the last P, which is perspective. That is, how are you going to do this imagery? Are you going to do it in terms of internal imagery, or internal perspective, or external? Internal simply means you're going to be doing it basically as your point of view. Okay, so if I just put this in front of my face like this, that would be my internal perspective. I would imagine myself stepping up to the plate, or imagine myself, holding the bat. All right. So again, from an internal perspective, you're visualizing what you would do from your viewpoint. Okay. External is how you would look from the bench, for example, from your coach's perspective. This works a whole lot. Works really well. Excuse me. For judge sports. So so sports where you are going to be judged in terms of your performance, like figure skating, okay, gymnastics. You want to be able to take that external viewpoint to see the viewpoint as the judge would see it. So you want to visualize yourself, having your legs in the right position, okay, or your arms in the right position. Also goes for diving. Okay, so you visualize yourself from the viewpoint of the spectators, or the coach, or the judges. Okay, so we'll talk about this in a little while, next segment. But which one's better, internal or external, or both? Okay, so that's PETTLEP in a nutshell. So thank you to the Village of Walcott for letting me use your youth field for a second. All right, so we'll talk to you guys later, and have a great day, and put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today.